Imagine if we expected health officials, experts, and practitioners to be, you know, mentally and physically healthy. So I was thinking about this, just looking around at different people who are telling us different things about what we should do with our bodies and just health in general. And this is related to another thought I had, just asking people, what do you expect from politicians? What do you think the political process itself selects for? When you go and you hear it, there's an expert coming from the state, coming from the government. What is the process you think that expert went through, that person went through to enter that position? What is the requirement of that job? If it's just general people voting for you, then what is the general knowledge that your average person has? How does the average person select what to do in their life? Simple example, what are you going to have for dinner tomorrow? What is your thought process of what you're actually going to have for dinner? What do you think of? The cost, the availabilities of the things around you, your general foods, your allergies, your dislikes, your dislikes. You might be on a specific diet, you have certain tastes, you have certain things. There might be a restaurant that serves good food, but you don't like the people who actually go there. You might not know how to cook certain things. There's a myriad of things that go into the decision of what you're going to actually decide to eat. Would you ask a random person what you should have for dinner tomorrow? No, you probably would not. I mean, maybe you would. Maybe I might even think there might be a cool kind of like app to do this, where it's like if you can't make up your mind, you just put in some few parameters, just ask a random person, what should I have for dinner? And they suggest something, and then you make something new. But that's if you have all these abilities, all this access to get the things, or make the things, or buy the things, or order the things. But in general, different people have different things that they consider in order to just have what they're going to have for dinner tomorrow. So, why do you think just a selective process of just voting people into a certain position is going to select for somebody who understands what to do, who understands the best process of being healthy for the general public? Now, when it comes to the general public, I see some health officials, some health ministers, some people from these different positions and those other positions who are just unhealthy. They just look unhealthy. They just physically unhealthy, emaciated, or just morbidly obese, or just things that they're like blah blah. Blah. You're telling me about health and you can't even follow these things yourselves, or they're just mentally unhealthy. They just have certain mental issues. You see the way they actually live their lives and things like this. And I'm just like, if you truly understand something, and I was morbidly obese not too long ago in my life, and I could give you some advice on what dietary process to take, what sort of exercise to do, because I had done it before, I had researched the things, but I did not live it. I did not know these things. I think there's a difference in being aware of certain information than knowing it. If you, for example, if you are aware that smoking cigarettes has a negative effect on your life, and you keep smoking cigarettes, I don't think you're necessarily aware if you truly value your life and you want to have the best life possible. If you if you keep smoking, then you either are not aware, you don't truly know this information, you don't truly believe this information, or you do not value your life and probably want to die. Somehow. It's some kind of slow suicide. I used to think of the same thing with obesity. I had a lower self worth. So I understood obesity was not positive for long, healthy lives. But I didn't care. The value of my personal life that I had at that time was rather low, so I ignored these things. But once I started valuing my life more, I was like, what are the steps I can personally take? And it's not easy. There's some challenges, but you work at it. You work at it slowly by slowly. But when you see somebody who's just decided to just live obese, I've seen a few health officers, health ministers, they're just morbidly obese, and it's clownish. It's ridiculous. But these people got those positions not because of their actual health, not because of them actually having good plans on how to stay healthy, but rather they understood how to climb up the political ladder. Now, there's other fields that you might think about this. If you come in and your nurse is just reeking of cigarettes and alcohol, would that make you question how much they actually live their life, care about the health process? If you went to a physical therapist that was just morbidly obese, just stuck to one of those scooter chairs, could not get off of it, would you trust that they actually understand what they're supposed to do with the actual working out? If you went to a dietitian who was just clearly just suffering from bulimia, just skin and bones, would you think they would be able to give you the appropriate advice for what you're supposed to eat? Now, technically, All these people could just be giving you information that is 100% accurate. But shouldn't they just be a base expectation that they actually live those things too, unless they have an actual limitation, something that's physically preventing them, something in their minds, in their lives that's completely preventing them from actually living that health? And we start at health ministers, we start at officials, at practitioners, at experts, and I think this is core. If you actually value your health, your physical and mental health as an individual human being, your body itself, once you base that, then everything else we build on it that's extra will see those benefits. We'll benefit from that. By inserting healthier human beings into all the other things we care about in our lives, we're going to make better decisions. That is the base floor. That is the actual start of it. And I think from there, you can go into more things talking about, would you let somebody who give you advice on how to invest when they themselves are completely broke? You can see they just keep making bad investments. Would you take relationship advice from somebody who just seems to just constantly go into relationships with just horrible breakups, fights, cheating, all these things? Would you do that? Would you take advice on how to travel around the world and plan a trip and do this and that other country and move here and move there and adjust to this place from somebody who's agoraphobic who just never leaves their house? You probably won't on these things. So I think these are just things, just general expectations. I'm just saying I think the world would be better if we could actually expect certain levels of them actually living what they actually preach. And I think the world would be better for that. So that's it for this video. It's part of my shorty series where I expand on short thoughts. So we links below to our merchandise store. There's also liking, sharing, subscribing if you haven't, notifications if you can. Appreciate you taking your time. Think of other fields that you're thinking about where you're like, I don't really trust this person. This person might not be the best person to trust. They might be coming at me with advice that's limited, or they could have
Speaking of
other
limited
possibilities.
advice, this clip or this audio clip of this helicopter is entirely too loud. I need to turn down the volume on it, which I'm going to do in the edits. But by the time I'd actually published this video and put it up, I went back and I tried to get the audio file. The audio file of this original thing was corrupted and it wasn't able to actually do it. But that's what I was just talking about towards the end there. I was pretty much done with the video already. I'm just talking about how some of those plans they give might be incomplete or limited because the people themselves who are giving them have actually tried those things, but due to something in the plan that they're not telling you about, or possibly something just in them themselves, there's some limitations to how much you can actually do with it. So that's it for now. Like, share, subscribe. Excuse me with the video editing. Shall keep doing better. Till next time. Goodbye.